Hey everybody, it's May 6th. I'm Adam and this is your daily dose of today. So we've covered a good bit over this weekend. First, I've asked you to write down 5 goals. 2 goals that you want to accomplish inside of a year. 2 additional goals that you want to accomplish inside of 3 years. And then 1 additional goal that you want to accomplish inside of 5 years. Hopefully, you've done that and given that some thought and some time. Second, I asked you to put in reciprocal time for however long a video is to please give me 2 to 3x back in just your attention. Obviously, you're not giving it to me, give it to yourself. In just attention to focusing on these things that I'm talking about. And then third, I asked you to be specific in your language, especially when writing about these goals, but just overall, and to avoid hyperbole. So what I'm going to ask you today is to look at your goals, and specifically, let's start with the 2 that you have set to be accomplished inside of a year. I'm going to ask you 2 things. 1, are you vague or specific? And second, what do you need to accomplish to achieve those year 1 goals? Now, about being vague or specific, are your goals something that are very nebulous, like I want to be happy, or I want to be in shape, or I want to be thin, or I want to be successful, those types of things. I want to be smart. Because those are great general outcomes, or as I call cardinal directions, like north, east, south, or west. But just like you wouldn't plot out a trip and say, I'm just going to go west, unless perhaps you're in an old western. You're going to have a specific destination in mind that happens to be in the western direction. So, if your year 1 goals are vague, I'm going to ask you to figure out to get as specific as possible, because you've only got 12 months to get there. That means we got to have very singular intent of what we're going to do. Okay? So, if it's going to lose weight, pick a poundage, right? Or if it's something about fitness, pick some way you can measure or gauge yourself, right? It's not even about achieving it. It's about how you're going to gauge yourself and measure yourself. So how many pull-ups or how many sit-ups or walking a mile, whatever it is. If it's business or school, you're going to try and measure success. I'm going to get, I'm going to have these classes done, or I'm going to have these grades in my classes. Or if it's from business, I'm going to create these projects on time, or I'm going to, achieve these certifications, or whatever metric you can measure yourself from the business perspective. And if you need help in that area, please message me. I've done this for a lot of people, and I'll be glad to spend a few minutes and help you get more specific. Be as specific as possible, and that's your reflection time today, part of it. Then the other piece, and this might actually be a cyclical thing, is try and get as specific as possible to line up the steps to achieve those things. So, what are you going to do between now and, say 12 months from now to achieve those goals? Going back to the weight loss thing, well, I'm going to do this diet plan and, these things, this nutritionist, and these are things I'm going to do on a daily basis to do that. If it's fitness, it could be I'm committing to go to the gym 3-4 times a week. I am going to get in touch with, get in a support group, or, maybe it's something like I'm going to message my friends to have them hold me accountable. That's another great thing. And then even from a business perspective, right, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to send these follow-up emails, and I'm going to do these networking events and all these things. Of course, classes, I'm going to get my homework done every day. I'm going to spend extra study time in the library, or get a tutor, or whatever these things have to be done, right? If you're talking about getting a plan, we're going to get someplace inside of 12 months, we have to get very real and very serious. And the last thing I'm going to say about that is, don't be discouraged if now you feel like, if you've done this and you feel like you're holding your hand like, there's no way I can get there. That's okay. Maybe you can't. Maybe you can't set out of a year. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you have to readjust your goals once you pull back the curtain and realize, I'm a lot further off than I thought. But look, this whole process is a cyclical process. Remember we talked about continuous feedback? We might readjust those goals. We might find out 3 months from now that what we thought today we want in 12 months, we don't want anymore. Life changes. Maybe all of a sudden we have a new child on the way, or grandchildren, or we have to move because of our job, or or we get a promotion or we get a job offer to go somewhere else, or who knows, any number of things, right? So don't get so hung up on that. If you need to feel like you need to readjust and you've bitten off more than you chew, it's fine. Time to do that, right? Time to do it now, not 12 months from now. But these are all the things we can kind of think about. And as my neighbor's dogs go crazy over there, they're always barking. It's mind-numbing. But anyway, try and think on these things. Got your homework today. We're shutting down just a little bit shy of 6.5 minutes. So please give this 12 to 15 minutes of your time. It's well worth it. This has been your Daily Dose of Today.